So in the last session, we have discussed about object lifecycle management, then encryption in S3, and we have checked all 4 types of encryption that is supported for the S3, and also we have discussed Amazon S3 versioning. So today we'll see MFA delete. Actually, MFA delete, you can say another layer of data protection on top of your bucket versioning. So versioning is one type of data protection. If you accidentally delete means there will be another version. But MFA delete is, you can say, some extra layer of protection on the bucket. So to delete one object, you need some MFA authentication. So first of all, you have to uh, configure your bucket with MFA device, maybe any hardware MFA or maybe any software like your
So,
Google Authenticator.
yeah, if you don't know, MF is, yeah, you already spelled it
Yeah,
here. Okay, multi-factor, yeah.
multi-factor authentication we will see in IAM session, and we will also configure in IAM session how to configure in MFA with your account, as well as we'll see the different MFA devices. And you can say MFA delete can only be enabled by the root account. The user account cannot do that. It will be done by root account for in case of your Amazon S3 MFA delete. Next is pre-signed URL. Pre-signed means by default all objects are private, meaning only the bucket account owner initially has the access to that object. So if you have created any bucket, you might have seen that the content inside the bucket are by default private. So if you want to make it access to the public, you have to first allow it for the public, and also as well as you have to uh, update your bucket policy so that it should be accessed from outside. And in that case, your whole bucket is public. That means your all the objects from that bucket can be accessible from outside. In outside, user can access your bucket. So in case of your uh, uh, website hosting, in that case also you are making it as a public. But suppose you want that some specific object should be public for a very limited time. Maybe suppose you have launched any video files or maybe some trailer file or whatever, and you want that some set of customers should access that for a particular time, for a some time limit. In that case, you can use this pre-signed URLs. We'll see how to create a pre-signed URLs. So if you want a user to have access to a specific bucket or objects without making them public, you can provide the user with a appropriate permission using a IAM policy. When you create a pre-signed URL, see, when you create a pre-signed URL means this is a temporary URL and it will be provided for a some time. So you must provide your security credential and specify a bucket name, an object key, the HTTP method, and the expiration date. So the
Vimal,
user,
can you
yes,
repeat? I didn't understand what is pre-signed URL.
yeah, I'll in the demo I will explain everything. So in the pre-signed URL means you are providing access to somebody who don't have access to your bucket. So you are temporarily giving, and what AWS will do, they will use your credential, means your you can say your key or your credential, and for temporarily they will give access to that person, or maybe you can make it public for some time or a limited time. The pre-signed URLs are valid only for the specified duration. You have to provide that duration, and by default all objects are private, meaning only the bucket account owner initially access to that object. Right. So let's see how you can create a pre-signed URL. So pre-signed URL, basically you are providing a temporary connection to any other than you. So suppose your website is private, sorry, your bucket is private and no one can access this, but you want that for temporary access you are giving to anybody, right? So if I see this is some S3 bucket, and let's select a private bucket, means the object is not accessible from outside. See this is the your website hosting. If I click this, it will be accessed from outside, because this is this is public, right? But in case of another object, okay, 1 minute. So this is another bucket, and this object is not, you can say, not public. So let's upload one HTML file, add file. Okay, this error.html. If I open this, it will not be accessible outside, right? But I want a temporary access to anybody. So how will do that? I have to create a pre-signed URL. So how I can do? So close this. You can go to this object actions, and here, yeah, this is a share with a pre-signed URL. You can select this. Anyone can access the object using the pre-signed URL until it expires, even if the bucket and object are private. So the bucket object are private, but I am giving this access to somebody for a time period, maybe some minutes, some hours, maybe some day, right? So hour means the hour range is 1 to 168, and the days is up to 7 days. Means 1 week, maximum 1 week you can give. So I can give for 1 hour, let's say 1 hour. Create a pre-signed URL. So they will create another URL. You cannot access using your bucket and object that URL, that URL of your object. They will create another pre-signed URL, right? So pre-signed URL has been created and copied to your clipboard. So if I copy this, you can also try your own. Is accessible, right? And if I change my object, also it will work. 1 minute, sorry. And okay, upload, add file. If I, and this is, I can say this is error for usage design, and I can upload the same file. Open, upload, right? Then if I change this, it will change, right? You can also create using CLI. CLI is like there is some easy method of using CLI, right? So there is some command for the CLI. You can also use that command. Yeah, in this way. Copy. Okay, let me show you. CMD, right? And I can add pre-signed using CLI for another object. So let me upload, add files, the index, upload, and this is the index, close. AWS, the command is AWS S3 pre-sign, and that this will be your ARN of your object and expire in this time. So let's see your, this is your object and this is your URL. So copy this URL and paste here. We then experiment in this second. So copy this and add here. So this is the command AWS S3 presign, and this is your object URL and expire in this time. So this is your URL. So if I copy this and paste here, then I can see the index static web page. This is the index file that I uploaded, right? So yeah, Mithali, any questions? Did you get or still any doubt in pre-signed URL?
Yeah, I got it. I have to practice.
Next is multi-part upload. See, uh, our object size. So there is a question: what will be my maximum size of a object? So in the S3, and this is clear that we can upload unlimited of data in S3, unlimited of data. So there is no limit. So there is no like my bucket size. So you can upload the unlimited of data, unlimited of objects. But the object size can be vary. Object size can up to maximum 5 GB of size, right? So uploading or copying large objects as a set of parts, which generally gives a better network utilization. So while uploading one object, so it will upload in one connection. Like suppose you might have seen, you might have used some torrent software to download one movie, right? So you might have seen that for a particular some movies, the download speed is very high, and that is downloaded in the 1 to 2 minutes. 1 GB of data that can be downloaded in the 2 to 3 minutes. Then how? So they are using parallel some multiple connections to download those data, and after that they will merge in your laptop. So similarly, you can use multi-part upload. Multi-part upload means instead of uploading in one part, so they are parallelly uploading in many parts, to which it gives a better network utilization. You can say some parallel transfers. So if the object is, let's say 10 MB, and you are using multi-part upload, so they are like giving like part like 1 MB at a time. So they in parallel they are uploading 10 objects, 10 MBs, and after in the object in the bucket side, and finally they are merging and making one object. It is used to upload an object in parts. Parts are uploaded independently and in parallel. It is recommended from the AWS for object size 100 MB or larger. However, you can use objects size 5 MB to 5 TB. But if your size is more than 5 GB, so you have to use compulsory multi-part upload. Otherwise, see, your copy will be very slow otherwise. So for the objects larger than 5 GB, you must use your multi-part upload. This is done through your S3 multi-part upload API. Multi-part upload is the 3 steps process. One is initiation, next is your uploading the parts, and the completion. In the completion part, it is merging your parts. Every parts will be merged and make one object. After all of the parts uploaded, Amazon S3 assembles the parts in order to create an object. So finally, S3 assembles your parts and making one object. The benefit of multi-part upload will be faster upload, because if you go to part by part, means parallelly uploading part, then your your upload speed will be faster. They will use your network utilization. Network bandwidth will be utilized properly. Range gates. What is range gates? So to download to download any object, So you can use this get APIs to read objects, you can say. So range gets means suppose your size is 1 TB, maybe 1 TB. So to download 1 TB, how much time it will take? It will take more time, right? So maybe it will take some hours to download 1 TB. 1 TB is 1024 GB, right? So it will take many more hours, I can say. but but if you know that okay, particular memory area you may know, so you can use this range get APIs. It is possible to download only a portion of your object by using range gets. Using the range HTTP header in the get request specify a range of bytes. So you have to provide the what is the initial location and what is the final location. So suppose your object size may be 1 TB, right? But you want that, you know that from the location, you can say 2000 to 4000, there might be some objects that is necessary for you. You want to download that, so you can give this range. Okay, get this range, then you can download. So only that part will be download. No need to download the whole 1 TB of data to get to then extract, then get your data, like. So you can get the range. So anyway, you programmatically know, yeah, this is my size of my object inside that mm, uh, object. So you can also use the range get, and you can download that MB of data, or 3 MB or 5 MB, whatever the size of your object, you can also download. Cross region replication. So basically our S3, our S3 is S3 bucket is comes under a region. So there are multiple regions in AWS. So cross region replication allows you to asynchronously replicate all new objects across a region. So that means if you enable cross region replication, your object from one bucket can asynchronously replicate. Asynchronously replicate means suppose you upload one object now, so it will be replicate to another bucket if you enable your cross region replication. Any metadata and ACLs associated with the object are also part of the replication. The metadata and ACL are also the part of your replication. To enable cross-region replication, versioning must be turned on for both source and destination buckets. So this is their initial condition, that your versioning must be turned on for both the source and destination buckets. IAM policy should be updated to give Amazon S3 permission to replicate object on your behalf. Right. So to replicate, so your permission will be also updated, so that your bucket will replicate, will copy those data to the destination bucket. So why, many people may ask, why I need cross region? So my bucket is there, so anyone can access my bucket if I give the permission. So why I need a cross region replication? So why you need? Because suppose you are you are a developer in USA and your company is in USA, and now maybe some of your client are in Japan location. If the Japan people will access the bucket of from the USA, that can be slow, right? But you can use this cross region replication, so that your whatever object will be uploaded in the source bucket, that will automatically copy to the destination bucket by AWS. The replication will happen from the AWS, and for that you have to enable your versioning, and also you have to provide proper permission to your S3 bucket, so that you can replicate those data to the destination bucket.
So what do you mean by ACL?
Access control list. This is a like a permission. This like your bucket permission. There is this is ACLs also. some permissions.
This concept is very similar, I feel like CloudWatch.
No. CloudWatch is a monitoring tool. CloudWatch is the monitoring where it can log your, it can do your logs, and you can see your resource metrics like your CPU utilization, your memory utilization, and also in the CloudWatch you can do the your alarms. You can see the alarms, and you can see your performance of your resources. But S3 is a storage service. S3 is a storage service where you can store your static files like your image files, your video files, your CSS files, any static files you can upload.
So what is it called then when the image file and the video files are getting transferred to another region, and then it would be easier for the people who are accessing those images and video files from that region. There is
Yes,
some conflict there, right?
yeah, that will see easier is okay, but the latency will be less, because suppose you are using okay, you are talking about CloudFront.
Oh, sorry, CloudFront. Yeah.
Talking about CloudFront. Yeah, we'll discuss that. CloudFront is a edge location. And for the CloudFront, see, if you use CloudFront, no, not a problem. But a small, like your buckets, replication of buckets, that is price is very less. But if you use CloudFront, the price is more. Amazon S3 logging. So you can try your own. You can try this cross-region replication. You can create one bucket and you try to replicate one bucket. See, suppose I will create another bucket in another region. Let me create, or you can create any bucket in another region and try to replicate. In case of CloudFront, your data will be flushed, but in this replicate bucket means your data is permanent. Replicate bucket
Data will be flushed
means refresh time by time. Your data will be refreshed. So we'll discuss that in that. Okay. Bucket name region. Then if I create this, need to update this ACL. Okay, you can try. Otherwise, I will. If not possible, then I will show you in the next session how to enable your cross region replication. Okay, properties. Okay, where is the cross region replication? Okay, so management. I think in the management replication. Yeah, this is the replication. Create a replication. Replication rule. Then give some ID. Application, and before that you have to enable your like, okay, you can give anything and choose some IAM role. You have to give some IAM permission for to your bucket, so that it will, so you have to create one IAM role where you have to provide some permissions so that your bucket can access to another bucket. You can give some S3 write permissions, right? So in the IAM we'll learn how to create one IAM role and how to give some create some policy and give some permission, right? So okay, we'll do this after our IAM chapter. It is not difficult to create a object replication, or you can say your cross region replication. If you upload any object in the source bucket, it will be automatically copied to your destination bucket. Amazon S3 logging. Amazon S3 server access logs can be enabled to track requests to your Amazon S3 bucket. So logging is off by default. So when you enable logging for a bucket, you must choose where the logs will be stored. So any action, anything, suppose I will upload one bucket or download one bucket or one object, upload one object or delete anything. So those things can be tracked, and some logging should be enabled, so that uh, any operation to your S3 bucket will be tracked and logged there. So for that you need to enable logging. So when you enable logging for a bucket, you must choose where the logs will be stored. So you have to create another bucket, right? So where your log will be stored. So logs will be include information such as your requester account and your IP address. So suppose you are deleting my bucket, deleting my object. So your account and IP address will come. The bucket which is going to operated, maybe deleted the objects. So that bucket name will come, the time, the action which API you have called, like get, put, list, and the response status, whether it is success or not. So those information will be come. So uh, you can enable logs for a object.
So what are these actions? Get, put, list, and
Those APIs, suppose someone read, right? So those get API information will come. Suppose anyone try to write, put will come. So someone delete, those delete API. Because see, everything is in the lower level of your AWS, everything is work with your APIs, AWS APIs. Those information will be come in the logs. Okay, I will show you. Okay, I can show you how you can enable. Okay, I am deleting this. Okay, I am making this management, I think, replication. Where is the logs? Versioning tags, server logging. Yes, this is server logging enabled, and I can give a bucket browse. I can give this bucket my bucket ABCD. I can give this path, right? I am given this path. That means my website, any operation done in my website, those log will be there in the that object, that bucket. So let's see, if I suppose I am deleting this, delete, fail to delete, close. Right now I can see the details in the my log file. So my log file will be generated here, my bucket ABCD. So the log file not yet come, can wait for some time. Right, let's see again. Properties, server access enabled, and this is my path, my bucket 1 3 4, right? So again I can add something, upload, add file. You will see some put API and delete API, and also I can read this, download this, right? You can see also one read operation. So let's see the bucket. So it will take some time. So let's wait and we can discuss another section. S3 transfer acceleration. What is transfer acceleration? So Amazon S3 transfer acceleration can be speed up content transfers to and from your Amazon S3 by much as 50 to 500% for long distance transfer of larger objects. So suppose you are working in USA and maybe your client is in Japan and you are trying to upload some objects. So as there is a much distance from USA to Japan, so if you upload one object, that object may slower due to the distance, long distance, right? In that case, you can use this uh, this transfer acceleration so that your transfer speed will be less. So we'll see how it will be less. So this is used to accelerate object uploads and downloads to S3 buckets from users over long distances. Transfer acceleration is as secure as direct upload. So if you use transfer acceleration, this is same as your direct upload, you can say. It utilizes Amazon CloudFront edge locations nearest to the upload to the nearest location. Like suppose you are uploading from USA and it will use your US's CloudFront edge location. This will done internally, right, from the AWS, but it will show you how much faster your transfer of data using these CloudFront locations. So once data arrives at the edge location, it gets routed to the destination S3 bucket over an optimized network path. So from their edge location to the target S3 bucket, you can say they have some optimized network path. So they can claim that their data will be faster. Using transfer acceleration, that incurs a charge, so they will not charge you for that. AWS check the speed enhancements, and if no enhancement is provided, client does not get charged for using the transfer acceleration. You can use multi-part uploads with transfer acceleration. So I can show you. Actually, this may confusing you. What is this?
In order to make it cross region, we have to use transfer acceleration.
Yeah, you can say cross region or you can say different region, not cross region. You are at a particular location and you are trying to upload some objects, but that bucket is in a different location or some far away from your location.
Mm.
So you can see, suppose I am in near Mumbai location, right? And now I will try to upload some objects. So I will see if I will try to upload to Virginia using transfer acceleration, what will be my speed, and it will show the every location speed. Please wait for some time. It will give some percentage how faster I can upload. So meantime you can see whether our log is generated or not. Yeah, in this folder our log will generate. Not yet generated.
So you have made it enable.
Which one?
So you told if you'll make it enable, then only the you can track the logging, right?
Yes, I enabled. I enabled here. I enabled here. It may take some time. I enabled for this bucket, and if you go to the properties, and from the properties you can see here server access logging. This is enabled, and if you edit this, you see this is my target bucket. When you enable server access logging, the S3 console automatically updates your bucket policy to include access to S3 log delivery group. Save 10 days. Okay, let's wait some more time. Otherwise, I will check. Yes. See here, suppose I will use S3 transfer acceleration for to upload one object to Virginia. If I normally upload to Virginia, and if I use the transfer acceleration, thus 38% faster. You can see upload time. In this case, your transfer accelerated transfer speed is less, but your direct upload speed is more. Yeah, direct upload speed is less, but your accelerated transfer speed is more. And you can see for also other regions. This is 19% faster. This is 15% faster. This is just a concept from the S3. If you want to use, you can use. And if there will be no faster means, suppose you are using S3 accelerated. So accelerated transfer. If there is no speed improvement means they will not charge you. There anything wrong? 1 minute. Okay. Right. Okay. Next we'll see some best practices. So what is the best practice to use one S3 bucket? So block public access to AWS account level for data protection. For the data protection, you need to block public access to your bucket. Block public access to your S3 bucket. Amazon S3 buckets should have default encryption. So you should add some encryption feature that should be enabled. AWS S3 buckets should have server access logging. So you should do the server access logging what we did now to enable to track access requests. So buckets should have the MFA delete feature enabled. Ensure AWS S3 object versioning is enabled for an additional level of data protection. Also, this is also required for the data protection. You need object versioning. So versioning should be enabled. AWS S3 object versioning need to be enabled for an additional level of data protection. Okay, the same, I think same line. S3 buckets to use transfer acceleration feature for faster data transfers. So any questions till now?
Can you explain more about the point which tells ensure AWS S3 object versioning is enabled for an additional level of data protection?
Yeah, they are telling that you should enable object versioning for an additional level of data protection. That means suppose accidentally anyone deletes your object, right? So if anyone accidentally deletes means you will have some delete marker, or you can have some your older data also. You are maintaining versioning, so every version data will be there.
No, I didn't.
Suppose you enable your object versioning. Object versioning means in your bucket every object will be there. That I explained yesterday. Okay, let's see. This is, I'll check. Yeah, this is one temp.txt, right? And I am maintaining many versions. And in the last also, this is actually not deleted, having some delete marker.
So what do you mean by versions here?
Version means initially I uploaded some one first version. If you'll see this, this is my first version of data. 1 minute. I can download 1 minute. Your version means yesterday I made some changes. This is my version 1. My
Okay.
temp.3 I have written something.
You mean whenever you are updating something to the file or the website, then you are calling it a version.
No, no. I enable the version when I upload the same file again, and the
Mm.
updated version will be there as well as also older version will be there.
Yeah, I understood now. Yes.
Understood?
Yes. Then if you are making some changes to it, then you are calling it as a new version.
Yes, because I uploaded this one today, right? If I download this, you can see this is the new version. Version 3, this is version 2, has been updated, something like that. Same file name, but different versions.
Mm. But just one question, I don't know if it is needed or not. If you are updating that same file, why do I need to store the older versions as well?
If you need in future, so why suppose you might have used some Git repo or any SCM tool like your source code management tool. So why you need older versions? Suppose you are now developed some code and deployed your application into maybe some server, and you feel that your application you have some problem and it's not working, and at that time what you will do?
Yes.
So you have to revert to the older version. So where you can get this older version? So if you use this type of versioning and you are keeping your you can say your installed file or your artifacts here, maybe jar file or maybe your .NET exe file, so you will have all your older versions. So any day anyone can revert to any older version,
Yes. Mm. Okay.
right?
Yes.
Sudhir, Lalit,
Yeah.
yeah, hello.
So yesterday